Hi there, I'm David Duncan and welcome to another episode of Fred and Ginger, Cheek to Cheek. Well, 1937 brought the songwriting team of George and Ira Gershwin to RKO for the team's next film, Shall We Dance?, which had Fred playing a Russian ballet dancer who falls in love with Ginger, who plays a famous Broadway musical star. It was standard formula, but the song and dance numbers, as usual, made it exceptional. Surrounded by regular cast members such as Edward Everett Horton and Eric Blore, as well as the witty character actor Jerome Cowan in one of his first films, Shall We Dance was another hit for the team, but it was not as financially successful as their previous films. The plot was not nearly as engaging as it should have been, and so it was up to the music and dance to keep the story moving. As mentioned, Fred is a well-known ballet dancer in Russia, but is in reality an American by the name of Pete Peters.
Fun! The great Petrov doesn't dance for fun.
The great Petrov doesn't, but I do. Pete Peters. Remember me?
Oh, that awful name of yours.
En route by ship from France to New York, Fred does his best to woo Ginger, who initially gives him the cold shoulder, but is eventually won over with a bit of luck and a song.
For I've got beginner's luck. The first time that I'm in love with you. Gosh, I'm lucky, I've got beginner's luck. There never was such a smile or such eyes of blue. Gosh, I'm fortunate, this thing we've begun is much more than a pastime. For this time is the one where the first time is the last time. I've got beginner's luck, lucky through and through, 'cause the first time that I'm in love with you.
Unfortunately, a lie told by Edward Everett Horton that Fred was secretly married as a way to escape from an old girlfriend catches up with him, and it isn't long before everyone on board assumes that Ginger is his new wife.
Wake up. We're going to have a baby. Huh? Why did you keep this a secret from me?
What are you talking about?
It's all here in the ship's bulletin. It says you've been married for years to Linda Keene, and the editor announces, quote, "It is rumored that a blessed event is imminent," unquote. Why did this have to happen to me?
Feeling like she's been used, Ginger leaves the ship via the onboard postal plane and flies ahead to New York to meet up with an old boyfriend whom she intends to marry.
They laughed at me, wanting you, said I was reaching for the moon. But oh, you came through, now they'll have to change their tune. They all said we never would be happy, darling, let's take a vow. But ho, 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 who's got the last laugh now?
I have an idea that's so dastardly, it's beautiful.
Her agent, Jerome Cowan, wants to keep the story going that she's married to Fred as it's better publicity, and so concocts a fake photo shoot for the papers. With her fiancé calling off the engagement, Fred and Ginger head to Central Park to escape the press, and it's here that they engage in one of their most inventive dance routines.
You say either, and I say either. You say neither, and I say neither. Either, either, neither, neither. Let's call the whole thing off. You like potato, and I like patata. You like tomato, and I like tomato. Potato, patata, tomato, tomato. Oh, let's call the whole thing off.
Convinced the only way out of the situation is to actually get married and then start divorce proceedings, leads to one of the film's most memorable songs that would end up being nominated for an Academy Award.
The way you wear your hat, the way you sip your tea, the memory of all that. Oh no, they can't take that away from me. The way your smile just beams, the way you sing off key, the way you haunt my dreams. No, no, they can't take that away from me.
In between all this, we had the wonderful talents of Edward Everett Horton and Eric Blore playing out their funny eccentricities in every scene.
Hello?
Oh, hello, Geoffrey. Yes, are you there?
Of course I'm here.
Now, don't shout at me. I'm in jail.
Well, that's all right. We don't need you.
I'm in jail for battery, and I want you to get me out. I'm at the Susquehanna Street jail. Susquehanna. Susquehanna. S-U-S-Q... Q. Q. You know, the thing you play billiards with. Billiards. B-I-L-L.
What is this, a spelling bee?
Of course, in the end, the divorce doesn't go through and a new show is created combining ballet and modern dance, all to the wonderful music of the Gershwins.
Chonya.
They laughed at us and how. But oh, ho, ho, who's got the last laugh now?
Well, sadly, it was not long after the release of Shall We Dance that composer George Gershwin died from a brain tumour at the age of 38. Now, Fred and Ginger were close friends with George, so not only was it a huge loss to the entertainment world, but a very personal loss for both of them as well. But before his passing, George Gershwin and his brother Ira supplied the songs for one final film. You see, Ginger Rogers had made many films on her own as part of her contract with RKO, but it was after Shall We Dance that Fred insisted that he now wanted to make a film without Ginger. The result was A Damsel in Distress, where he teamed up with Joan Fontaine in one of her early roles, along with the comedy team of George Burns and Gracie Allen.
Come on, you Totley Wildcats. Give.
Well, despite some lovely songs that became standards, this was the first film in which Fred had appeared that made a loss. So it was with slight disappointment that he resigned himself to once again team up with Ginger for the Irving Berlin musical Carefree. With an inventive story and interesting characters, Carefree proved to be a welcome experience for everyone, with Fred playing as psychotherapist and Ginger as his patient. Veteran character actor Ralph Bellamy plays Ginger's fiancée, who's concerned about her unwillingness to go through with the wedding and convinces her to visit his friend Tony, the psychotherapist.
That's why I came to see you, Tony, about her.
Well, you came right to the right man. He straightened out some pips. Oh, we had a dame up here yesterday who was in love with her feet.
Sorry, Steve, I'm no marriage broker. But now this Amanda, what's her name?
Stop calling her what's her name. Her name's Cooper, Amanda Cooper.
How do you do, Miss Cooper?
I am Miss Cooper.
Now his suggestion is to get her to eat a large, rich meal to induce dreaming, in the hope that he can analyze the dream and look for a solution. Unfortunately, complications arise when Ginger instead dreams of a romantic encounter with Fred, all set to the lovely Irving Berlin score.
I used to be colorblind, but I met you, and now I find there's green in the grass, there's gold in the moon, there's blue in the skies. That semicircle that was always hanging about is not a storm cloud, it's a rainbow. You brought the colors out.
To counteract these new feelings, Fred decides to hypnotize Ginger to make her believe that she hates him and loves her fiancé.
Now repeat after me everything I say. I love Stephen. I'm going to marry Stephen.
I love Stephen. I'm going to marry Stephen.
Dr. Flagg is a horrible monster.
Dr. Flagg is a horrible monster.
Men like him should be shot down like dogs.
Men like him should be shot down like dogs.
If you had any sense, you'd psychoanalyze yourself and admit you love her. Nonsense. What a cluck you are, Tony. Why? Why? Because you're so dumb you didn't even realize she was crying because she's in love with you.
Ultimately, he comes to the realization that he's fallen in love with her and made a big mistake, and tries to hypnotize Ginger again to undo the implanted thoughts, but is now forbidden by court order to come into contact with her. It's only through the power of music and dance that he's able to find a way.
Must you dance every dance with the same fortunate man? You have danced with him since the music began. Won't you change partners and dance with me? Must you dance quite so close, with your lips touching his face? Can't you see I'm longing to be in his place? Won't you change partners and dance with me?
Hey, Doc, Doc!
Amanda, darling.
Hurry up, Doc. Get to her unconscious before she comes to.
Repeat after me. Tony loves Amanda.
Finally succeeding in erasing the negative thoughts, Fred and Ginger walk down the aisle to the happy conclusion. Now, always looking for new ideas, Fred, Ginger and Hermes Pan came up with some inventive dance routines. This one would be the envy of any golfer. Not all of Irving Berlin's songs were hits. Fred didn't think very much of The Yam, so suggested giving it to Ginger, who did a decent job of it. In fact, it was Ginger who suggested the over-the-leg dance move as a point of difference.
I didn't come to do the Charleston, I didn't come to bowl the jack, I didn't come to do the Suzy Q or do the bottom they call black. I didn't come to do Big Apple, I didn't come to do the shag.
Well, honey, here I am to do the yam because the yam is in the bag. Yeah.
Well, initially, Carefree was to be shot in Technicolor, but the producer Pandora S. Berman couldn't justify the added expense. It was agreed that the song I Used to Be Colorblind would still be shot in color, but in the end this too was cancelled, which is a real pity. Well, even with the cost cutting, Carefree would become the first of their films to lose money, and it would be another 10 years before we'd finally see the team in their only Technicolor feature. And it's this we'll look at, plus their final film as a team for RKO in the next episode. I'm David Duncan, hope to see you then.